Hello, welcome to episode 4 of Be the Change series. This is part of the Regen Ag Chat. My name's Liz Jennifer.
And I'm Nick Robinson.
So, Nick, we are on episode 4. We are focusing on Simon, who is connected to Alan. And I suppose the bit that we're up to at the moment is preparing for Alan's event, aren't we? Which is on the 24th of June. So you're sort of Alan's handler. What have you been up to with Alan the last few weeks?
I don't think he'd enjoy me calling I'm his handler. Well, it's just gearing up for the event. I helped him. He did some blood testing of his cows, so I had a morning with him and his mum and his auntie getting his cows through the race. And it's just been trying to put a program together which encompasses all the things we've looked at with him, and it is just kind of, at this stage, we are just kind of scratching the surface and projects are just beginning. So it's been trying to develop a program for the day which encompasses all of that, really. So we'll have the Blue family have signed up to Regenerate Outcomes. So Stuart Johnson has been to the farm, and so he'll be talking to soil. And then we've got Simon, who we're going to talk to now, about grazing. We've got CSX talking about their data collection. Pete Leeson's going to come and talk about wood pasture. We're at Alton Village Hall, starting there at 10 o'clock on June the 24th.
Not to upset your flow, 11 o'clock, but...
Is it? Oh, shit, sorry.
Yeah. 10:30 for 11. So you can still do some jobs in the morning and still come along. That's the plan.
And then we've got a lovely lunch using Alan's beef, cooked by Janet, who was our carbon calling caterer. So lunch will be amazing. Cumbria Wildlife
You're dragging her out of retirement for it.
I know. She said, everyone thinks I've retired. I said, this is special, Janet. And then, lovely lunch. Cumbria Wildlife Trust are going to be there. There'll be lots of people to chat to over lunchtime. Daniel Idden will be there from Regener's talking about the fungi we spread, and we'll have some soil tests around that. And then we're all going to jump in trucks, basically, and kind of get to know each other closely, or jumping in trucks, and go up to see Alan's cows and just have more of a soil chat up there. Alan will explain his bale grazing, the challenges he has with keeping cattle outside all year. And then, have I missed something, Liz?
No, it's just also be interesting. He's had a tricky spring, hasn't he? Hasn't grown as much as expected. Partly a bit cold as well, probably.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because he's getting to know a brand new farm. He's got a reasonable amount of cows. He is there on a kind of short-term agreement, so it's kind of working out what interventions you do, if any, and the kind of pros and cons of that. So I think it's we'll be talking about lots of questions that many people have.
Yeah. And then what have you been up to at the farm? Chickens. Every time I speak to you, you've been picking up eggs.
I've just been picking up eggs now. I've got my hot babe Jamie Oliver mug to try and perk me up. You see it?
Wow.
Yeah, the chickens are in full flow, and they're doing really well, actually, touch wood. Got a few new customers, and they're doing well. Renault calls it My Enterprise, particularly My Enterprise when you have to put them to bed at currently 10:40 p.m. We do need some automatic doors, but not very good
the
at
kids to be home.
Or Poppy to be home. We paid her £1 a night. I'm not sure she'll do that this year. What other news is we have dug a pond. It's quite a big pond, and Renault's been swimming in there. Slightly worried that a calf might have gone swimming in there, but I'm positive it hasn't. We have nearly finished calving. It's gone at the minute, touch wood again, quite well. Cows are very fit. We, unlike you, have had lots of rain. and it's very growy, Liz. I know you're not going to want to hear that, but it's growy, and we kind of need a heat wave now to make some hay. And then we did use Daniel Idden's Regenis fungi on a couple of fields, and this might be purely, what's it called in my mind, delusional, but is it placebo, or is it, no, it's not, is it? It's kind of like
Pushing it to be true.
You've
convinced yourself.
Bias, but I think it's made a difference where we've put it, particularly on one field. So we're going to retest that again, because we did it before, and it's going to be really interesting to see. And do you know what was interesting? The cows loved eating the grass. They were happy. So
very maturely, where I spread the stuff, I haven't been to look at because I daredn't, because it was on a reseed, and I don't think the reseeds work. So I'm currently avoiding that field because I'm very mature like that. I need to go.
But also with those pellets, it has to rain quite a lot to dissolve them. So you're probably just sitting there, Liz. Anyway,
So
tell us your news. Tell us your dry, dehydrated news.
I'm not going to talk about rain or lack of, because it's just tedious. But yeah, we've had a dry spring, another one. So it's sent us all into thinking that all of our farming systems are completely dependent on it raining in April and May, and when it doesn't. So yeah, we've got grass generally in front of things, but I'm not sure where I'm going to wean lambs to currently. And I've got cows strip grazing across the silage field. So we have got other silage to cut, but that's taking out quite a fair whack. And recovery is poor currently. I can't get to fence post stake. But like putting electric fence posts in, you have to sort of jump on them and hope. They go in really easily when you find a crack. But yes,
Oh
it's just been a
God.
bit miserable. And it's on clay land, so it will crack. But we've had rain in the last week or so, but we're talking mils. We're on still deficit. So, and what's irritating about it is obviously we had a lot of wet during the winter. So where's it all gone? It's gone out to sea. So then it makes you think, how do you then store more of that on farm? All of our fields are under drained, so it's trying to get water away as quickly as possible. And so yeah, everything's been set up in a way for rain to come gradually. And so when it doesn't, and then I think the biggest frustration is we're trying to do different things and the weather's affecting plans.
So do you think a reservoir is in the plans?
Not on our farm. Ironically, there is a reservoir coming. There's some pipelines coming across, but that isn't. We could tap into like a major water system that's bringing water in from the northwest. But I think that quantity might be too much. You never know. They could even put us a little like tap off it just for emergencies. So yeah, I'm boring myself of how I talk about the weather, but it makes you think that we have to do stuff. We have to change our approach, because if we just keep doing the same thing and hope it's going to work and it doesn't, is the dubious quote of insanity. So, and I think, and also everybody like down this bit of the way, everyone's a bit miserable because all the cereal prices are low and everything, all the input prices are high. So you've also got a situation where people are a bit fed up anyway, and add this on top. So
yeah.
And well, it's not, and I'm Lincolnshire, but this East Anglia Midlands is stretching. It's not as widespread as it was last year, probably, but it's affecting. Like we were affected last year, it's affecting us again.
But I don't know how much you're going to edit Rob and Liz podcast, but we had a long chat with Rob when we recorded it about straw prices. So there'll be a knock-on effect everywhere, won't there?
Yeah. The whole country won't be affected, I don't think, but we shall see. And there's still a bit of time.
Jolly news.
Jolly news. Give me a moment. I got some funding I applied for, so that's good. I am cracking barbecuing. That's my new favourite hobby at the moment. Yeah. So last night I did chicken wings. Previously I did a, what was it, 18-hour beef brisket. So yeah, I'm not sure I'm at Michelin star level yet, but I am. It will not be beaten by a green egg. That is a certainty. Technically an Aldi whip-off of a green egg, but same principle.
And you've also been doing some excellent fancy dress shopping, and we'll somehow share a photo of this when the night actually happens. But I'm looking forward to Liz propping up the bar with the Nellis brothers, looking like what's she called? Jennifer
Adina.
Saunders.
Adina from
Adina.
Fab.
Yeah.
I've had another element arrive from Vinted, which is a massive, like, really scarf that I can't quite work out how to keep on my head. So yeah, that might last about 2 minutes. But yeah, for some reason I'm embracing fancy dress, which is a very rare occurrence.
It's amazing, Liz.
And I've gone for the appropriate ski outfit for Cumbria in July. So yeah, it'll be fine. But do you want to share what age you're going to be celebrating, Nick?
Well, I'm going to be celebrating 51 and Renault's celebrating 50. I feel about 50, 59, actually. In fact, I don't know if you'll put this in, Liz, but I was just listening to a podcast, and this woman, a very well-known radio presenter, she was 40 and they did a biological age 67.
Wow. What was she not doing?
Well, she's got a lot of inflammatory problems, but anyway, she looks amazing, so I don't know what they picked up, but I think I'm probably about 82.
Wow.
Anyway, we need to crack on. This is
Those chia seeds, you'll be fine because you're half chia seed. If you're not collecting eggs, you're banging on about recipes involving chia seeds. That's
protein. And the other thing I am
Yeah.
quickly doing is I'm going to get I'm in the middle of getting our eggs analysed for their nutritional content. So if they're any good, you'll hear about it. If they're just the same as everyone else's, you won't. But at the minute, the eggs are tremendous.
And where do they, is that going to America, or have you found somewhere here?
I found one here. So I haven't got a price yet, so I think it might cost a fortune. But I just think it's such a good product. And they chicken experts say chickens don't eat grass, but they do eat grass. And the eggs are they're just amazing at the minute. Anyway, enough of our
You say so yourself. But you might have evidence for this soon.
Yeah.
It's a lot about bias, isn't there? Anyway, at this point, we'll hand over to our chat with Simon.
Simon, thank you very much for joining us this evening. We met I reckon it was about 2017. I think I was doing some AHDB costings.
Yeah, that's right. We were, yeah.
And you still had some dairy cows, I think.
Yeah, it's been the time when we've been finishing off dairy and it's going into beef.
Yeah. And I remember your paperwork was very, very good.
Oh, thank you.
Annoyingly good. Very organised. So you live on the A66, but for people listening, could you just tell us a little bit about you and your farm?
Yeah. So I live just off the A66, just nearby Castle in County Durham. We're about 800 feet above sea level, and I've 400 acres all grassland now, and suckler beef herd and are certified organic and pasture for life as well. And so we usually finish everything off to sell as fat just off grass or silage in here through the winter.
And before, were you dairy before?
Yes, before conventional dairy before. It's 2010 when we went organic.
The reason you're here is because you're helping Alan with his grazing, and you're one of the Pasture for Life mentors.
That's right, yeah.
And so has that been an interesting journey for you to be going on to other people's farms?
Yes, it has. Yeah, I've enjoyed doing that, and it's good because everybody's really keen on what they're doing to learn and do more. So for myself, I've got a lot from that myself to learn from what they're doing and the energy they have to go forward with that. And also it helps me revisit my thinking as well. to go over past things I know to sort of learn it again to try and sort of help other people.
And I suppose I'm always curious of where are you in sort of alignment with the various principles that can be out there?
Yeah, I suppose I've tried a bit of everything over the years. And I suppose I change it up depending on the time of year and circumstances. At the moment, yeah, I mean, I've tried a total grazing just periods through the year, but I'm more leaning towards more selective grazing at the moment, particularly at this time of year, to try and build the covers up, sort of going forward more.
Okay, so the infamous adaptive. So it's
Yes.
under
Well, yeah, that's the way to
confidence,
describe
isn't
it.
it? And having a few seasons under your belt and all of it.
Yeah.
And is there any particular farms, maybe prior to you being a mentor, that you really like going to see and sort of how they managed it resonated with what you wanted to do? I think I'm asking who your heroes are, but in a slightly long-winded way.
I suppose at the start, I didn't go to many. It's more through probably reading books and just it's something that made sense to me, like reading through holistic management and holistic grazing. And it's just what made sense to me at the start and just, yeah, it made sense. And I just sit into to work and just what I naturally fitted into what I wanted to do and just grew from there. But yeah, I mean, there's people, yeah, there's farms you go to that you think, yeah, it's really good what they're doing. You know, within the pasture for life sort of people are seeing this there. Yeah.
And the holistic grazing, have you done the holistic course and stuff?
Yes, I have. Yeah. They have in the course. Yeah.
And how did you find it?
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. It was good working through the principles and learning about holistic management, how everything functions as a whole, and just also having the systems to work through in place that you can use for that. And just learning from that and just getting a different perspective on things and overview of how you do things.
So your cattle at home, are they all in one big mob, or how are you grazing them at the minute?
No, they're not quite. They're in two groups at the moment. There's the cow and calf group with bulling heifers. So there's about 100 cows with 20 bulling heifers. So there's about 120 there. And then there's the yearling and sort of fat stock group. There's about 150 in that group there. So yeah, I've got two main groups. And I am just at the moment toying with putting them all in one group.
Are you? Mega
Yeah.
mob.
Yes. Yeah, just working through that to think, could that really help make more change to the land and improve things that way? So it's just trying to think through the little nuances of trying to get round about putting them all together, just in terms, I suppose, they handle a little bit when they need handling.
And how big are
And
your paddocks?
It's well, I suppose varies. We've got fields from 6 acres up to 30 acres, and then I split those up with sort of polywire electric fencing to whatever size I need to
Wow.
at the time.
I know this comes a bit what's happening with bulls. Hope the bull coming out. What
Yeah,
would you do?
the bulls are separate apart from like going for July and August, 2 months a year with the cow group. The rest of the year they're kept separate. So
Okay,
yeah,
so the mega mob would be for 10 months of the year.
yes, yeah.
You'd be okay.
And then yeah, if I did that, I would just have to pull out any heifers and cull cows that I didn't want to bull for that time that the bulls are in for.
Wow.
And is
That's a lot in the yard, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's a collecting yard. 'Cause at the moment now, you can get a nice big group of 100 cows and calves in. It's sort of just right for that. But we've got an even bigger group to come in. It's more of a collecting yard and just sort of working that out. And I suppose also with the fat ones, it's through the year or through the summer, I'll be pulling out when there's some ready to go fat. A group of maybe is like 8 to 14 to pull out fat. It's just sort of working that out through the summer to do that. Whereas normally, we can bring that group in and pull them out as necessary. With a bigger group, it's do you do that or do you just do that by two people going in with the electric polywire to sort of separate them out like that? So it's just trying to think through those things.
like a thought experiment to keep you entertained over the summer till the
Yeah,
bulls
well,
come out. We've got a
yeah,
couple of months until the bulls come out to think about it as well.
yeah.
Just in terms of land, so as Nick says, you dairy farm, what do you think was your limiting factors on your land? Or what are the areas that you think needs more work at the minute?
At the moment now, it's increasing more diversity in the pastures because when we were dairy, we it was majority we reseeded down to ryegrass and clover, which the ryegrass doesn't work as well in this system. And there are other grasses starting to come through, like cocksfoot and timothy, meadow fescue, and crested dog's tail. They're all starting to come through from the natural seed bank, but there's some fields that are still just holding on to the ryegrass a bit more that need to move on. So yeah, I need more diversity in there. And then some fields, the soil is still, we do have high magnesium soil, still a bit tight. So it's still making improvements in the soil that needs moving forward. And that's where I think it would mega group help stimulate the land more to make even quicker changes.
And and with those mag soils, have you done any intervention, or is that just grazing, root, sort of getting the biology going? Have you put gypsum or anything on?
I've tried a couple of things. Yeah, I've tried putting some liquid gypsum on because putting the gypsum was going to be quite expensive to get. And I've tried a couple of other things, but nothing at the moment has really seemed to make a difference.
Okay.
Whether it's just more time and rest and getting bigger, fatter roots in there would make a difference in need.
And that is, I suppose it's partly the area you're in, isn't it? Geology-wise, the bedrock would be high mag, or do you think it's what's been applied to that land in the past
I
that's
think it's probably
contributed?
both. Yeah, I think it's probably
Okay.
past management as well. Probably just where the soils are, and it's just that. Yeah,
I think it's interesting because it it comes up quite a lot, doesn't it? Those high mag tight soils. Default setting is gypsum, but as you say, people have mixed responses to how has it worked well enough.
yeah. I mean, the thing, the control you see at times is that makes the biggest difference is rest. Like in one of the fields, where one of the worst fields, like an area in the middle where I planted some trees, and the soil in that area, not just next to the trees, but away from the trees, had been rested for 3 years, and that had been, there's such a difference in how that soil improved with that long rest compared to the rest of the field. So it's trying to replicate that across the rest of the field without having a 3 year rest.
And what's your rest period now between?
It varies. At the moment, it's about 30 days. And then as the summer goes on, probably get up to 70 days, 60 days.
Hmm. And you're fattening cattle, obviously pasture for life, purely off grass.
Yeah, grass and silage through the winter. Yeah.
So do you have fat cattle going evenly throughout the year, or is there a kind of, do most of them go in the summer months?
No, it's fairly even through the year. Because, yeah, the first one's already 18 months old, just before they come in again in like November time.
Mm.
And then they sort of trickle away through winter. And then, yes, the average age is probably 24 months to go. And then the last ones to go just before 30 months. So the spread's sort of, yeah, evenly-ish through. I mean, when they first come in at winter time, they sort of grow back a little bit until they sort of get used to the silage for like maybe a month or two. And then January, February, there's usually a group of 10, 14 to go, another group before turnout, and then another couple of groups through the summer that go.
And they're sold to Dumbia?
Yeah, yeah. So we sell about a third goes to a local organic shop we supply, and then yeah, the rest goes to Dumbia Carnaby through their organic scheme.
I mean, well, it sounds good. I think there's kind of mixed. Some people find it really hard to fatten off grass, don't they? With all the kind of, that's the thing that um, people say around pasture for life and stuff. But and maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit of the eating quality sometimes. But it seems like you've cracked it.
Well, yeah, they just keep moving them regular and keep good grass in front of them, and they seem to do it. I suppose it's having trying to get the right type, because I'm still working through that, because I've got some that are tall and more leggy that just want to keep growing. And yeah, those ones, they're the ones that'll take more towards 30 months to finish off. It's the ones that'll stop growing that'll flesh up sooner and I can get away sooner. So it's sort of just working through with the breeding, trying to move through to get the right type.
Are you doing that yourself, or you buying bulls in, I suppose, from other Pasture for Life members?
A little bit of both, yeah. So I do buy some bulls in. So I mean, yeah, the last two I got from Pasture for Life. I've got two good ones there. And I've also started breeding my own bulls as well from the cows that are suiting the system. You know, from the nice sort of medium-sized fleshy cow, sloping rump, everything works right and has lasted through the system and works on that. So I'm keeping bulls off those to then breed from them.
And it is, and I don't know whether we've said, but is it they're shorthorn, aren't they?
Yeah, beef shorthorn. We did use Angus for 3 years, but I've gone back to beef shorthorn again now.
Oh, why was that?
Well, at the time, yeah, so I started with beef shorthorn, and then I thought, and I suppose when I used to run 3 different bulling groups, and one of the stumbling blocks was going to be like running them all together and having the bulls together. I'd never done that before.
Mm.
So at the time, I got 3 bulls from the same place. And I couldn't find any shorthorns, went for Angus, and I thought, well, it didn't matter about colour too much. And I thought, I guess my hybrid's bigger in there. So yeah, I brought 3 Angus bulls from the same place to run them as one group with the cows. But then I decided it's nice being beef shorthorn. It's nice having a herd that beef, the brand that you stuck to, especially for marketing. And it's nice, the different shorthorn colours as well, because they're easy to pick out. If you want a certain one, it's like, it's a red one or a white one. It narrows it down a little bit. So yeah, I've gone back to beef shorthorn to keep going forward with them.
You don't do
I
anything
also,
on
anyway.
groups of bulls together. I was listening to Michael Blanch's podcast. Do you listen to that one? He said that he was mixing bulls and he'd heard that you cover them both, all of them, whoever's there, in cider apple vinegar, and they don't
Oh,
fight.
see, all right. Right.
And
Cider
it's
apple vinegar apparently does a lot of things. If that is on its list, does everything.
so he's done it for 2 years. It's worked. So now he can't stop. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe they now associate it with bullying. Maybe they're like, here we go.
yeah,
We know what's going to happen next. Like Lynx Africa. Sorry, I'm being really
Go on,
sorry, Simon.
yeah, no, it's okay. No, I was going to say, to get around that, I always introduce them as like yearlings. So I've got the bull group, and then I introduce sort of like year-old bulls into that group. So then there's no dominance or fighting within that. Then I suppose I don't keep them too long, so I don't have any really old mature bulls. So I think probably as they get older, that's when they're gonna become more aggressive and probably fight more dominant.
Yeah.
So far I've been lucky and we got away with that, putting them together like that.
I just have a question about soil again. So we've talked a bit about that rest period. You've planted trees, so the intent is to do more wood pasture, so grazing under trees as well, more hedges, and wanting to build that rest up. So, um, is there what I suppose I'm interested in, other indicators that you've been using? Have you been digging holes, counting birds? Is there other sort of baselining stuff that you've done just to sort of tracking shift in your land?
Yeah, I mean we've done. Yeah, we've done bird count. Well, I haven't done bird counts, but I've had bird surveys done. And yeah, I just noticed myself, since managing this way and being organic, there are a lot more birds around. And we do have, on the bird survey done, there was quite a lot there on the red list that we got for that. And then other things I've been doing, I've done infiltration tests, and that has improved, because when you first started, it was, some fields were well over 10 minutes it took, just waiting there forever for it to go in. Whereas now there's fields that sort of get down to minutes, or like there's one I tested 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was 49 seconds it took to go in. So that's definitely improving. And then, I suppose the other things I sort of monitor is just the different species of grasses slowly coming through as well, how that's changing.
And it's always amazing what's in that seed bank, isn't it? You say after
Yeah.
years of ryegrass, not I like ryegrass, but after years of that system, that it does emerge.
Yeah, years of that and putting fertilizer on and sprays on, and there's still that in there that's still popping up and coming through.
We asked you to go and have a chat with Alan. So you know Alan from other events prior to this, but um, and particularly this spring, there's bits of that farm that aren't growing as expected, and so we're just, I suppose, putting in some additional support into that grazing plan. So can you just talk us through your approach, how you sort of, well, I suppose the training you've done and how you put that into place, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what Alan's doing and what he's achieved so far is really good. He's started from sort of nothing really and sort of got a nice sort of decent herd number now. So he's building up there. And Alan, he knows most of it really. He knows a lot because he's done farm walks. So he knows it. So it's just, so just going there and just looking to see what his grass is like. I think the biggest thing at the start in spring is, which he's done, is just going around and skimming around it to let the grass grow, not take too much off. And hopefully grow more grass to build the covers up that it needs for the rest of the year. So he's trying to do that. And so some fields are tricky because of, I suppose, like the fields that it has to take hay off. It's sort of thinking how to try and improve them because they haven't been doing very well. It's just, he has to cut hay off because of the scheme they're in. So he's just trying to think of ways around that. But then, it's just giving him, I suppose, reassurance and confidence that what he's doing is okay. Because that's what I know myself, my own system. I always question myself what I'm doing. So it's nice to have, somebody there to say, well, actually, it does look all right, and that's not as bad as you think.
And I think that the confidence piece is a big thing, isn't it? Which is, especially when exposed to lots of different ideas, it's integrating it and applying it into your set of circumstances, not using the C word. But that's the bit that I suppose is we're interested in. How do you get people to distill it to the things that are relevant to them?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and seeing what he wants to achieve and get to himself. Yeah,
And I've just had a look at his soil test because he's on high mag soils as well. So yeah, we've talked about interventions with him. He's wanted to use the grazing and the rest and all of that to sort of the natural processes to happen.
yeah,
Um, and I suppose you've done a bit of the interventions, but are now you've sort of seen the power of rest, haven't you? So it's having that mixture approach, I suppose.
yeah. It's a tricky one at times because you try and, I mean, I've done myself. I've managed to graze and try and get the best to make improvements, and there's still fields that haven't improved how I wanted. So it's just been this year trying something different to make those changes to move things on more, and just trying to find where I was, just little things that I can improve on for that on in the grazing management. And the biggest thing for me this year has been to, 'cause I suppose in the past I've always tried to have a shorter winter and always try to turn them out as soon as possible. Once weather's warmed up and it's starting to get some covers on the grass, it's get them straight out and just to get them skim round. But it's been learning to try and give it longer. So wait longer for the grass to recover a bit more in the springtime to get more covers, bigger covers on. So this year I did that by sort of sacrificing the field. So I did turn them out earlier, but just fed bales in that field to keep on there for an extra couple of weeks to let the grass covers the head of them to get more cover on before I started properly on the grazing rotation to try and build more up for the rest of the year.
There's tricks you're learning by doing, isn't it? It's not necessary that you've seen other people do that. It's just implementing and I suppose the flexibility that every season's delightfully different.
Different. Yes. Yeah. That's what I think. The spring was a cold spring. So it was a bit slow getting away.
And are you knowing that delightful A66, so are you north facing, south facing? Have you got a mixture? What sort of are you is that some other challenge of the spring as well?
Yeah, I suppose actually no, predominantly north facing. Yeah, we're on a slope that's north facing. South is behind us really. Yeah.
So you do well in a very sunny bit of the season. You keep some moisture, I suppose.
That's where, yeah.
You're never gonna be a vineyard, but that might
No.
not be an option that you want to go down. Nick and I debate this intervention bit quite a bit, like patience, isn't it? patience is some of this, which is actually, it might take a few years, but we sort of want stuff now, which is challenging that sort of put nitrogen on, grass grows of mentality. It's like a, yeah, it's learning a slightly different mindset, I suppose.
Yeah, I do agree. Patience is the thing because it's like, yeah, I want the results. You always wait a little bit, but I've been doing it a while now and sales feelers now that, yeah, should we do better? And I want them doing better now because I suppose I know there's more potential to grow more grass there. So it's, yeah, you want that sooner.
And were you always organic?
No,
W- Oh, so when did that happen?
that was 2010 when we converted to
Okay,
organic. So yeah,
okay.
we were a conventional farm before that, using artificial fertilizer and sprays where needed. Yeah.
So did you
So
have a
what
moment?
I suppose it was something that putting sprays on just never sat right with me. My father always did it. He would go and spray the docks. We had arable as well. And just putting sprays on, I felt comfortable with it. Just around him, it always sort of tightened up inside. And I've always been interested in eating properly and health in that way. So yeah, I wanted to go down the organic route and also be able to cut out the inputs as well to be more like, yes, self-sufficient without more resilient, without fertilizer costs and things like that coming in.
Mhm. I slightly stalk you, Simon, on Instagram, and you lift very heavy weights. And you don't do it in a swanky gym where you can kind of go do it in a shed, don't you? It looks like a
Yeah,
cow shed. Is it a
yeah,
cow
it
shed?
is. Yeah, it's an old old cow shed that I've got gym set up in. Yeah,
So yeah, I want to talk about, well, Liz will want to talk about weights. I want to talk about what you eat and how long you've been doing it for and what it's done for you. And also that how the people around you, like your family, how they deal with it. You, what you eat, all that kind of thing.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So tell us about your food probably to begin with.
The food, okay. Well, I've always been interested in what you eat, and then, and I suppose I was trying to eat healthy, and then what I thought was eating healthy is now changed, and that wasn't as healthy as I thought. So I used to, I suppose I got to the point where I was eating sort of a paleo type diet. So I wasn't having no processed foods, no gluten, no seed oils, just making, yeah, just paleo type diet, the basically sort of like meat and fruit and vegetables and all of that. And I was doing okay on it, but I didn't have as much energy and feel as good as I thought I should, seeing as I was still eating what was termed as a healthy diet. And then I came across somewhere I heard about the carnivore diet, and I thought that sounds extreme. I won't be doing that. And I thought, well, I need my broccoli, I need my spinach, I need sort of to get me fruit. You need that as well, don't you? But then I suppose over time, I kept hearing more about it, how people had, yeah, were thinking more clearer, how better energy, how it healed some of their diseases. And I kept hearing that over 6 months. And then so I was thinking of trying it, and I went to a keto brain health conference and learned a lot more there. And then I decided, yeah, I'll give it a go for 30 days. I thought I've got to try it to see what it's like. So I tried it for 30 days, and that was a year and a half ago, and I'm still doing it. Apart from the odd cheat day when my daughters cook some cookies, and I've got to have some of them. Otherwise,
But
yeah,
that must make you go, does it much like extra buzz because your body just isn't used to it?
yeah. Well, I've learned that. I think even before I was like addicted to sugar, but I found now, yeah, when I'd had one cooking and I'm having like three or four, and then you get that crash afterwards. But apart from the odd time like that, yeah, I'm following carnivore diet. I've been doing it for 18 months now, and I've felt the best I have. There's things it's changed. I mean, there's my digestion's better. I never thought I had bad digestion before, but until you start taking things out, then you sort of become more sensitive how your body feels with things. So my digestion's improved. I did have acid reflux, that's gone, and just yeah, I've got better energy. The mental clarity is better, and I can tell when I've had a cheat day because if I've had 3 or 4 cookies one night. It takes me a couple of days to get properly back in tune on with my body. But then also found with the weight training, that got better. Because I did sort of worry about that. I thought, I think without any carbs, will I have the same energy? But yeah, after sort of 30 days, that my energy in the gym is actually better. And it's more level energy and just cleaner. So now, yeah, it's just, I suppose, yeah, just running out of fat and ketones.
So run us through. This is very a lot of detail, but run us through a day. And also, what do you drink? Can you have coffee? Can you have milk?
I mean, you can have milk if you want. I don't have milk because I found in the past it doesn't suit me as well. I'm better without it. So I just drink water and use electrolytes. Add that to it to get the salts and everything within that.
Oh my God, you're a temple. So what do you have for breakfast?
It varies. I mean, I sort of predominantly eat beef. I will eat other things, chicken and fish as well, but predominantly beef. And I just depends whatever cut, whether it's mince or could be heart, could be steak, roasting joints, just a mix of that. I mean, what was this morning? This morning was a chuck steak that I had. And then lunch today, I didn't have much time, so I quickly had a couple of tins of tuna with some eggs mixed in and cheese on top. I just put in the oven quickly. And then for tea tonight, I'm probably going to have some liver and some heart, which I'll just fry up in a pan and add some chunks of fat. Because I found I sort of crave fat more as well. So I've off cuts of fat, chunks of fat that I'll just fry up and then have like that. And that's what fills me up the most.
Wow. Liz, what do you reckon?
I have, oh no, I haven't tried it. I certainly haven't tried it for 30 days, but I have tried that really high protein diet. It makes me really angry.
Right.
It's like it doesn't do anything for my mood. My mood is slightly up and down as the best of times. I really struggle with the lack of variety and texture.
Yeah. I mean, if you've done that, if you change suddenly or yeah, if you depends how you normally eat, it's best to change gradually to let your um digestive system, your stomach microbiome get used to it and to adjust to it.
It's probably what I did wrong. It was a fad. Nick and I talk about these things a lot. So yeah, I'm now going on to a high egg diet according to her. This is what I
Right.
need to do next.
And then
Well, no, I
She's an
think
egg
Simon, I
producer.
think she has energy dips. So I don't. I think when when you eat a load of protein and you're full,
yeah.
I don't think she's eating enough protein. But this is too much information.
But no, and it is interesting because I have like freezer fulls of home produced meat, and I could, and so yeah, maybe I will focus on my protein intake. I
Yeah,
can't tell you I'm not gonna go carnivore, and I really can't cope with offal,
yeah.
but
But
I
it's
can try.
electrolytes as well. When you change, you need electrolytes because when I can't remember how it works now exactly, but when you're having carbohydrates, the insulin, once you stop the carbohydrates and the insulin isn't there, you then release a lot of salt out of your body. So when you change over, you need electrolytes just to help to keep that balance right. And you also need some fat as well. So it depends how lean the meats are of the fatty meats.
I but I think we also have to be obviously, there is massive disclaimers about all of this, but I think it was interesting because at the last year's Carbon Calling, we had, David Unwin talking, he's not carnivore, but he's very much no carb. Um, and I think it's also reflecting that some diets do suit certain people and some diets, so it's not a carte blanche that this will work for everybody, is it? It's making sure it's appropriate for
Yeah,
you.
no, yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's what works for you. Yeah.
The general thing is less processed, fewer carbs, more nutrient dense is the general consensus, isn't it? It's just whether it's more vegetables or more meat.
Cutting back on the carbs is the biggest thing. Yeah, to keep you, and then that can control your mood. If you cut back on the carbs, and once you get used to that and running off ketones, then your energy level is more level. Because that's one thing I found when I was eating a paleo type diet. Yeah, like halfway through the morning, I'd get hungry. before lunch, I'd always be snacking. Whereas the way I eat now, I don't get hungry, not between meals. So I can have breakfast. Well, I have breakfast maybe at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I won't eat again until 2 o'clock, and then sort of tea later on. And I don't get hungry between the meals as much. I'm more full.
And when you talked about mental clarity, like your head is clearer, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, because I find when I eat, if I do ever eat sugar, I get more agitated in my head. And yeah, I get more brain fog. Whereas when I'm strictly carnivore and running off fat, I don't get brain fog. My head's clearer that way.
Interesting.
This might be the solution to your brain fog.
Yeah.
No, I was just thinking of you and sugar, actually. I was going to point at you and sugar.
Being very
But-
judgy to one another.
And then Liz leads on to weightlifting. Liz will love this. She's a weightlifter.
I've just checked what weight you lift. I'm not in your but for a woman, I am quite good. But that I only bring that card out every now and again.
Right.
If you're doing Olympic lifts.
I'm doing Olympic weightlifting, yeah. I'm not at any heavy weights yet. I've still got not where I want to be yet.
So explain Olympic lifts. I haven't got a clue about this.
Well, Olympic lifts, there's 2 lifts. There's a snatch, which is lifting it off the ground to overhead in one move. And then there's the
Hard.
clean and jerk, where you basically clean it to your chest in a squat, and then you then stand up, and then you jerk it overhead in one move.
And that's the one that people always they'll like a wobble and they do a split and it's all
That's
the
it, yeah.
outtakes of that one are always entertaining.
Yeah.
So how much weight can you lift, and how often do you do it?
Well, I do it. I'm training 5 times a week, and then the weights at the moment, the snatch, I've just done 55 kilograms, and then the clean and jerk, I've just done 75.
God.
Which at the moment though, I don't say is that. I mean, it's what my max is at the moment, but it's not in terms. It's not that heavy. But at the moment, for me, the biggest thing is technique. It's working on the technique. So I feel I've got the ability to definitely lift more. It's getting the technique right. So I'm working with somebody to do that.
Wow.
I just think of it in terms of sheep. That's what I always think is useful when you go, how many sheep am I
Yeah.
lifting?
Well, that's
That's a
like
lot of sheep.
lifting quite a big sheep above your head.
Yeah.
So in another
We brought
lifetime,
it down to the level that Nick can understand. A sheep above your head.
in another life,
He
would
wants
you
to be able to lift 2 sheep above his head. This is his
Yeah.
dream, if
Do
not
you?
3.
2 sheep? How much do you want to lift? How many kilos?
Well, at least wanted for snatch, at least body weight, 80 kilograms. And then clean and jerk, at least 100 kilograms more if I can with that.
Wowzers. So in another life, would you have liked to have been a professional bodybuilder and just sobbed the cows and just gone to a farm shop and bought some nice beef?
I'm a bodybuilder.
Ah,
I'm not a bodybuilder. I find
not builder, a weightlifter.
weightlifter, I find bodybuilding boring. But
And
weightlifter.
really
I suppose
unhealthy.
if I'd been, I suppose if I started younger, yeah.
Well, it's a great extracurricular activity, and it's probably very good for your mental health, along with all the meat.
Well, it is, yeah. I mean, it's a good way to clear your head. To go and do a good workout. You always feel good afterwards. Yeah. And it's the sort of thing I've always, as I get older, I mean, that's the biggest thing is skeletal muscle is the biggest health thing you can do to keep that.
Yeah.
Nick, what's your dumbbells you currently use most days?
Well,
What weight are they?
well, I bought some tens, which are horrendous, and then I've found them to so difficult because I can't do that I can do that and that like single arm, but I can't do double and it makes my top lip twitch, which is a thing, isn't it? Did you know that?
I didn't know that, no.
It's a thing that when you really struggling, you can have a top lip twitch. It's called something. I'll find out. Because I follow this woman, and when she weightlifts, she's got this. Um, and then, but I've struggled with the 10, so I'm doing regular ones with sevens.
Right.
But it's really hard.
Yeah, but it
Uh,
feels good though, doesn't it?
oh yeah, no, it
Isn't
feels
it? Yeah,
good, and I yeah, it does feel good, and I think as you get older, particularly women, we need to do more and more of it, probably.
yeah, yeah. I think everybody does really as they get older. Yeah.
It hasn't really been the thing we talk about, is it? It's the
No.
No,
reality.
but then it
So we
doesn't.
lose it inherently as we age, but if we didn't start
Yeah,
with very much at the beginning,
yeah. But then I know that is the common myth. But then you don't suddenly get jacked, do you? You know, you're not going to suddenly go to the gym for a month and then be walking
Mm.
around all big and muscular and built. It just doesn't happen.
unless you're also on some pills.
Yes. Yeah.
But going back to farming, I was listening to this podcast, last night when I was waiting for the chickens to go to bed, till 10:40. There's a physio in New Zealand who's kind of a farmer, and she's a physio, and her job is she goes around and kind of helps farmers of any age remain fit and strong, and puts them on kind of plans and stuff. And she said because it's like a physical job, farmers spend a lot of money like keeping the tractor going, keeping the quad going, all that kind of stuff, but they don't look after themselves, and they are, she said, the most important machine on the farm. And it's funny, isn't it, how we don't, you'll cope with that niggle in your knee, or so health is such a big thing, and
Yeah.
strength.
I mean, yeah, I think farming is a physical job, so you sort of think, "Oh, I'm doing enough and keeping fit." But yeah, weight training is so different because yeah,
Mm.
you're working through all the range of motion and you're properly squatting down to work all that. Whereas in the normal farm working like it, you don't work your body in that way.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
So we
I
should have
was
been
gonna have
doing
some
this
pasta for
interview in a
tea, but
gym.
Yeah.
well, there is a
Should have been doing it
farmer.
while lifting.
Liz, there is a farmer from Scotland who was, I think he was one of Michael Blanche's monitor farms, who's now opened up a gym on his farm.
Right.
He's well, I can't think of his name. Uh, and yeah, he's got this gym, and he's quite close to quite a big town. And she's going to find it now on Google. Um, and he's into kind of um, uh, weights and keeping fit and circuits.
Peter Eccles.
Peter Eccles.
Nice.
He was in top tier rugby and on a family farm in Dumfries.
Mm. I think it's going really well. I spoke to him when he was just starting it, and I think it's yeah, he's doing really well with it.
Nice. Oh, good.
Mm. Yeah. Anyway, we digress. But
And we've
thank
got
you
loads of
very much.
tyres to tip. There's tyres
Yeah.
to tip, there's ropes, farm fitness.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, we also just need monthly physio and massage would be nice.
Yeah. Definitely.
Anyway,
Um,
so back to Alan. You'll be at the event doing with him on the 24th, talking through grazing plans. I suppose part of the day is also going to be talking through his soil tests and some of the biology stuff we've also done, and and we'll continue the debate of intervention or patients, or a bit of both.
Okay.
So yeah, be interesting, and hopefully there'll be a weather pattern that isn't either wet and cold or wet
Yes.
or some warm days would kickstart a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. So who else have you got going?
In terms of speakers,
Yeah.
so Stuart Johnson from Regenerate Outcomes, because Mr. Lou's they've signed to that scheme. Um, yourself, Police and Woodland Trust come in to talk through some of their wood and pasture schemes. We've got Daniel Idden coming from Regenis, talking about the fungal inoculation trial that we've done. So there's a good range of people, but a lot of it is, well, it's a sort of about how he's changing his system and what changes are yet to come. So,
it's
and
like the
some of it
first
is the
episode, I think.
yeah, and because he's been selecting cows or buying cows from a variety of different farms. It's also a bit back to what you said, which is finding those animals that can cope with that system. It takes a bit of time to work that through.
Mm.
So yeah, as Nick says, it's the start, isn't it? It's sort of a baseline plus a bit, and then helping him work out what's next.
But yeah,
Okay.
thank you very much for your time, and I hope you're going to enjoy your tea, your evening meal, whatever that might be.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, thanks for that. Thanks for having me on.
I'm having ham hock and leek, but sadly in a puff pastry.
Oh,
I'll just eat the leek. I'll eat the pie filling. I won't eat the pastry.
yeah.
You won't enjoy the pastry now. Blame Simon.
Okay. I'll think of him as I give it to the dog. No, but no, I'll work on my protein intakes. Defo. Anyway, thank you, Simon.
Yeah, thank you.